What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Spin from the Real. I'm starting to really nail this hosting thing down. Um, Tonight, as always, I'm joined by Mr. CEO of Watt Real Entertainment, Matt Thomas, and we have our fun. I'm going to get these points down eventually.
Point down.
Just point down. Our fun special co-host, Mr. Jeff Alterman. Or is it Dan Merle? I don't know. But we're gonna go with Jeff tonight. And then of course you have myself, Allison Salamone. So what's going on, y'all? How are you guys doing tonight? Hi, William Harold. I'm nailing it, Matt.
Let's talk about this first. I'm gonna give Jeff a chance to talk real quick because I know this has been a point of controversy for some people over the last few days. So Jeff, before we get started,
I hear you prepared a statement.
I did. All right. So, dear viewers of this show, this is blank. Can you not have this? Like, can you make it? I don't want to be alone on screen. Thank you. It's real lonely when you're at the top. Like apparently I was this past week. Here's the deal. I had said it somewhere else to a few different people. It spread more like wildfire than expected. I didn't know that they were filming that there. And yeah, there were references describing me and of course the actual mannerisms and whatnot. They're nothing like me. And then, there's a tweet thread that was started, who happened to be started by my wife, who cares very much. And she has virtually no following and almost zero overlap with this community. And so she wrote that thinking she could share her feelings without, it making some sort of big deal. She just wanted to put it out there. And then it was really
became a big deal.
And it became a whole lot more complicated than it should have been, expected, with just a lot of people that were reaching out to me and a lot of people asking about this. And it was really taken away from just like, at the end of the day, if people are associating that thing with my name because of the reference or the Easter egg, as Ben and Drew happened to refer to it as on the Action Guys last night, that they believed it was like it's doing that. And like, I've said to enough people, whatever their feelings are, everything they feel is valid. There's no one who can tell you that the way that you feel is wrong. And you can say what you want to say. I never told anyone that they're not allowed to say anything that they didn't want to say. But it felt like no one really was saying anything from a perspective of, well, what did Jeff think? If we're going to be saying this, complaining what his perspective is, shouldn't we doing that? No, at least do that knowing what his perspective is. And mine is, I thought it was funny. I don't care. I thought it was enjoyable and it was fun. And I got the joke. Would it have been cool to, like, if that was really an idea that could have been a reference like that, being given that info ahead of time? Sure. But I don't care enough for it to like matter that much to me in terms of some sort of like negative feeling. There's so much other stuff worth caring about. So like, look, the show's fun. I thought it was fun. That's really the end of it. So anyone else who's complaining or digging into it or, recapping conversations where I say, stop asking me questions about it, like, we get over it. Move on. There's other things to worry about. If you have other complaints or other criticisms involving the show, then go ahead and share those. This one, I'd prefer you didn't. So to those who have discovered my wife, though, through this, you're lucky. She's great.
She's amazing. We love you, Paulina. We are big Paulina stans.
And for the record, every person that you think might have been involved at some level, I've talked to everyone. Don't think that there's been no communication at this point. Anything that needed to be said might have been said, might have not. Doesn't really matter. It was a conversation that I had with anyone that was, relevant to this issue and situation. So if you're looking to see if someone found out there was an apology of some kind, it doesn't matter. It doesn't concern you. So that's all I'll say about that. I had good conversations with everyone. And now we move on.
And now we move on and we put it to rest. So I appreciate you taking the time to say that. So now with that out of the way, before we bring in our super fun guests for tonight's show. Matt, what do we got going on with Spin from with What Real Entertainment?
This week, Saber Reels comes out Wednesday, and that's it. Nothing else planned this week. It's a quick, easy week, which is I'm like, yeah, I'll do plugs, no problem, because that's just easy. Just get out of the way. Saber Reels on Wednesday. We're going to talk about Colin's return from Galaxy's Edge because he went to Orlando this weekend. He's there right now, actually, and so yeah, that they're going to talk about that and a little bit more celebration. So excited for that. But let's move on because we know why everyone's here.
Everyone's here. So we have tonight with us, as teased on our Twitter feeds, we are joined by IG competitor Amaru Moses and the manager of Swag, Winston Marshall. And there they are. Hi, guys.
Hey there, how you doing now?
Oh,
I like that voice.
Not this shit.
Hey, how's everybody doing? I appreciate you having me on the show.
Blurds is Tuesdays and Thursdays.
I'm sorry,
I am not Jay Washington.
I'm sorry. My name is not Winston. My name is Jeff. This is what the black version of you look like right here.
Oh my
my name is Jeff. See, exactly. You just had the hair to go off. There's too much going on. There's too much going on.
The thoughts and facial hair of one manager does not reflect the ideas of Flag and the competitors with it.
None of us need to hear the story of every Jeff everywhere all at once right now. We can
There you go. There you go. But also, Amaru, don't act like you didn't bring no damn family to one of your matches, fool. Don't act like that wasn't some old nonsense, man.
Bruh, you don't want to get her started on that. You don't want to. Well, you probably heard her that day. Love it. I understand.
I love how supportive everyone's spouses are. Mine is very supportive, but I also think he is questioning why he introduced me to Showdown. Because he's like, I know what you do. You dive in head first, and now here I am doing all this shit, and he just watches. And he's like, what the hell? I'm sorry. My bad.
I mean, Jenny's the same way, if that makes you feel any better. She's like, she literally told me, she's like, one of your views is always me, but I always mute my computer or television and just do it. I'm like,
Frank throws it on the next day when he's at work. He puts it on in a headphone and just lets he's so supportive. He's so proud of me.
Real quick, before we get started, I want to shout out Jenny. For those who don't know, she graduated this past Saturday. She graduated magna cum laude. So I'm very proud of her. She's got a great future ahead of her. And
wait, Magna? The last week or two, you've been saying just cum laude. So Magna?
So because we found out that for her actual degree, they finally factored in this past semester where she got straight A's, which bumped her up to magna cum laude. When she first was made aware she was getting honors, it's like, this is based off of what your standings were before the end of the semester. So it was cum laude. Because she got straight A's this semester, it bumped her up to magna cum laude. So
awesome. All right, y'all. Well, before we pull this wheel up, just real quick, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like, make sure you get these notifications for when we go live with anything here on What Real Entertainment. We also have, if you see on the screen in the bottom corner, our Streamlabs. So if you want to throw in any donations, feel free. For this week's Wheel Slices, we obviously have our IG competitor match, Amaru versus Saul. We got Bateman and his teammate, so that'll be that team's match that went down. Star Wars is back, baby. So if we land on that slice, we will happily chat a little bit about the first Star Wars match between the Arsenal and Zach Burkett. The top three, this is one of my favorites. I'll just give you guys a thing to list your top three of, and you tell me what it is. Drip, drip, or That Ain't It.
Fucking Matt made that. I put
No,
money on that shit.
That was a combination of Alpha.
That was him and I.
Winston, there's nothing to be upset about. I promise that is a very fun slice.
If we land on it, we will definitely go over. We'll talk about that some more. We also got our own version of One Gotta Stay on here. We got the wild card. Don't know what that's gonna be. And of course, cutting the scenes where we talk about these massive cut scenes. And I feel like we had some real good ones this week. So without further ado, I'll let Matt give this wheel a spin so you guys can have some PTSD from digital the last 2 seasons.
One Gotta Stay Star Trek edition just ended with me and Matt. Go check it out after this. Fight Times Breakdown channel. Go check it out.
Hey!
Motherfucker.
Also, Matt's
Didn't even
really
ask
good
if I
at
could
giving these wheels a little nudge to get what he wants. We're not saying
I'm
it's
not
rigged, but we're also
surprised.
not
Never
I'm
saying
not
happened.
surprised.
That's never
it. Not
happened.
not saying it.
So Winston, I don't know why you're saying motherfucker, because this has nothing to do with you. I promise, homie. This has absolutely nothing to do with you.
Does that have to do with Baker Mayfield? Is that what it
No.
is? Drip dripper.
No, it
That
doesn't.
is it? Is that what that?
No.
Is that okay?
So for those, Amaru, I think you watched our Ty Lieberman episode. So
I saw something.
y'all are gonna be judging Showdown fashion from the free for all. So we have some screenshots from the free for all. I'm gonna pull them up.
All right.
And then we're gonna have you talk about each one. So let's go with this one first.
For example, hold on. I'd say I had another example, but we'll get back to it.
For those who don't know, this is a survivor, David Jindoyan. Go. Which Allison? Go ahead. What were you about to say?
I'd say the first FCL player to get called up into the Showdown, correct?
This season. This season.
This
First
season,
season.
No,
This season,
because
yep.
Nick Harley last
was
year.
overall.
Right.
But yeah, go ahead, boys. What are your thoughts on the survivor?
I mean, he looks like he looks like his own version of the Ultimate Warrior. I ain't got no hate for that. That's a lot of effort to put into that. Also, the man's got the guns to back it up.
Hate. It doesn't have to be hate. That's the thing, Winston. You could praise it if you want.
Yeah,
got the
that's the
guns
part
to
of the
back it
drip
up.
drip.
It's drip, or that ain't it.
The
Like-
Ultimate Warrior is always drip. Always drip. And if you don't know how many times that man did bicep curls with straps that entire day just to get ready, he put in work.
Just to be ready, bro. I gotta give him credit for that. Like, he genuinely, we're all over here practicing movies and shit, and he's just come
He's
on,
doing
bro.
his push-ups
You
to make
know
sure those
this
muscles
is-
look good, right?
Yes.
Those
Shout out to Survivor. He puts in work.
Yes, it does.
Winston's new mustache, drip drip, or that ain't it.
That is not it. I'm sorry. It ain't it. At least not for me. Not for me. Winston pulls it off. But for me, it's not.
He's like, I'm gonna have to cut Amaru.
Y'all gonna put some respect on my daddy name. Tell me I don't look like my daddy with that fucking
Your
mustache,
daddy
bro.
pulled it off.
Fuck
don't,
you.
sir.
I'll pull it off, ho. Hold on. Let me turn this light off so it don't glare. Look at that. Come on.
It's true.
Focus.
That's drip.
Yo,
That's
That's
right.
just drip. That's an homage to my dad, man. That's all that is right there. That's
bruh,
it.
if your hair didn't look as more grown out than his, you might pull it off. But right now, you just look like a younger version of Cleveland Brown, and I'm sticking to that. So
Jake
hey,
is blaming me for getting PLD in the chat by saying mustache.
by the way, shout out to Jake Yakavetta. Happy birthday, my
Happy
brother.
birthday,
sir.
Jake.
Love you,
Happy
sir.
birthday.
Happy birthday,
All right,
Jake.
next one, Winston. Who we got?
All right, next one. Saul. Drip, drip, or that ain't it, boys.
It had to be hot in that damn leather jacket.
Right, that's
y'all.
what,
Is there a
It's a little
middle
cold in
ground
the
for
studio.
this?
Yeah. Is there?
Is there a middle ground for this?
Nope, there's no gray area in this
There's no-
spin from the rail.
Okay,
It's
I'll
either-
put it to you this way. Since there's no middle ground, for Saul and the aesthetic he goes for, I'll give him drip drip. If you're talking about overall, that ain't it for me, dog. I can't.
That took the words out my mouth, man. Took the words
That's
out.
where my middle ground is. It works on Saul because that's like Saul's aesthetic. You know what I'm saying? Like, that works perfectly for him. You wouldn't catch me dead in that outfit. That's not for me. That's not for me.
Honestly, with that hair and that beard and that jacket, I
it's
feel like
like-
that's right all the way through it.
yeah.
It works
I mean-
for him so well, and I give him credit for that.
It looks like he's got a Negan thing going on right now, but not the Dave Chappelle one. But
Oh, no.
overall, I'd say it works for him. Yeah, for him, I give it drip drip. Jeff, what about you?
He looks fine. It looks like he's just wearing normal clothes. So I mean, like, if he's comfortable,
every day.
sure, drip drip. I couldn't give a shit about that outfit. You should have gone back. I don't know who the Ultimate Warrior is. He looks like a bird with that mask on. Dude looks like he's trying to
Wow.
impersonate Bird Person in that screenshot.
Wow.
Okay. All right. I'll throw you guys a softball real quick. Drip drip, or that ain't it.
Who? Oh, is that
That
Q
ain't
Scott?
it, man.
He was hot.
Who is that?
He looks too much like he
Oh,
looks too
I
much like
see the name.
Superfly, bro. He literally looks like when he was done. Once Corruption broke up, he was like, "Well, I guess I can always go to my backup career, and that's selling hoes." Like that's essentially what this is.
The name of Superfly. Do not besmirch the name of Superfly.
Dude looks like he's been nominated for 8 awards at the Haters Ball.
Hey. I hate you.
Hey.
I don't even know you when I hate you.
Of all the bad things in life happen to you, and only you.
All right,
I'm gonna give this one a drip, like, because I've seen it without the masks, and so he looks like he looks like a darker, blacker version of Darkwing Duck, which you can't get much darker or blacker than Darkwing Duck. But I love that show. So we're going drip.
I don't read Darkwing. Again, either Superfly or God. What is the
no. Superfly is off limits in my mind. That's my cousin. Why? Ron O'Neal is my cousin, actually.
And that's
and Bugsy Siegel's my uncle. Doesn't mean that I'm going to defend fucking
God,
Bugsy
I'm trying to remember
is
what
he
movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Shut the front door, Bugsy. I'm a big like mob person. Like I love a good conspiracy theory. So that just like stops me in my tracks real quick. I'm
Bugsy
sorry.
Siegel is what taught me that Jews could have a mob. Yeah.
Hey, I'm gonna leave that one alone.
Yep,
we are nothing if not diverse on Spin from the Real.
Okay, we're going.
Well, hold on. I'm trying to remember before you get away what character it was, but he looks like one of those characters that like had like fang eyes. I cannot remember what the fuck. They wore goggles. I feel like it's an IG movie. Rabbit? No.
He does look like he's giving me very much Christopher Lloyd vibes in Who Framed Roger Rabbit for sure, with that whole look.
It's okay. If it comes to me, I'll
shout it. It's fine.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, Marisol as Mirabelle.
This is drip. Nothing Marisol can do no wrong, no matter what she wears. Especially
she found that outfit that day and put that together like it was like she'd been working on it for years. That is 100% drip. Mirabelle McKee right there. It's lovely.
It was magical, if you will. It was about as drip as you get, man. I mean, she don't hold back. The fact that she kept the mannerism, she came in with her flail. What the fuck? Flare twist. It would hit the dress spin and everything, and honestly saved the house that was Corruption. Because this came out. I mean, spoiler alert: this came out after Corruption being broken up, and so they've been dealing with some rough times right now. So for her to come in here, dress like that, win the free for all, like snaps up to my girl. Like she's looking fly, man.
And we all know I'm a fan of a fun earring around here, so. Those are fire. I almost wore these ones tonight. I got my pink ones here. I got more over here. I got them all over the place. We just change it up. We're fun, could be worse. Could be addicted to a lot of other things. Right? Yeah, that's why I tell my husband when I come home with another 3 or 4 pairs of earrings. I'm like, just spent it on something else. So
right. let's throw another softball real quick. This man's get up this season. Drip or that ain't it. Let's start with Amaru.
Winston don't like it. I love it. I'm sorry. The man is having fun. He's got the Scully on. The cane finishes it off. Like he is. This is drip. I can't.
No, Amaru, how dare you? This man looks like the white boys in that first episode of Chappelle's Show where they're like, "Did he just call us the N-word?" All right, like that's what this look is giving me, bro. This is not. This is. I'm glad for the character that he's going for, but nah, son.
I mean, I don't hate it. It's
JTE looks like he's gonna give a guest track on Malabute with B-Rad.
JTE looks like he went and just finished installing his all new Axe water heater, and that's what he showers in at this point. He smells like an 8th grade locker room just from looking at him. I can smell what he looks like.
I was in an 8th grade locker room today, and I promise you, I'd rather it smell like Axe than what it actually smells like.
Ew.
Yeah.
All right. All right.
I'm just glad he got rid of the AK-47 necklace, and he's changed
Yeah,
that up.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that was a little.
I mean, if you're gonna go for it, just go for it. I don't. You know, like,
He went for it. He swung for the fences.
All right.
He didn't make it very far, but he swung.
Jeff, we're gonna start off with you this time. Drip, drip, but that ain't it.
I don't know what the fuck shirt is he wearing there. What is that?
Yeah,
are there just images of himself?
I think it's images of himself.
It's all his Zoom calls. He put all his Zoom calls on the sweater.
I mean, that's fire.
That is
drip.
I'm
gonna have to.
That
I'm
is
gonna have to
100%
go
drip.
absolute drip because that. Yeah, that's it.
I would rather PLD wear something like that than his Ed Harris shirt.
Hey, leave the Ed Harris shirt alone.
No,
absolutely not.
By the way, I do want to say PLD would have been on this list, but I couldn't get a clear screenshot of him at Free For All.
Handing over the whiteboard.
There's just a side profile.
Look,
I'm like, nope, can't do
it. There is a level of confidence that you have to wear something with nothing but your face all over it. And it's a level of confidence that I aspire to have within myself, that I could pull something like that off, but I know I can't without looking like a douche. So I'm gonna go drip drip for Mark Andreyko.
I'm going drip drip with it. I'm going drip drip with it. Everybody hates the Ed Harris shirt.
It looked like those old school babe sweaters, and I was like, all right, cool. And I didn't know what it was, but he pulls it off.
All right. Amaru, I know this one's gonna hit you a little close to home. Drip, drip, or that ain't it.
It's the icebox. The icebox always gets drip every single time. Little Giants is one of the greatest football movies to ever be created. Drip, drip, 100%.
Amaru also just doesn't want to get his ass in trouble, so there's that too. But I agree with him. Drip, drip.
I'm going drip drip because again, I think that it was a reference that I don't think anyone else within the Showdown could pull off the icebox the way that Peggy Gubbins did.
Oh, I agree 100%. Winston.
100%.
For doing the icebox reference, I will give her drip drip, but anything in reference to the Giants can kiss my ass. And
yes, they can.
It also kind of looks like a 49ers jersey, so it can also kiss my ass. So shouts out to Peggy for the specific reference to the character from Little Giants, but there's a number of reasons why it is a drip drip with an asterisk, 2 asterisks, if you will.
Winston, leave your Cowboys fandom at the door.
Shut your mouth.
Nobody likes the Cowboys. It is not America's team. Screw them and everybody who loves them, including
You're just mad because y'all motherfuckers don't know how to brand.
We don't know how to win either, but still, I'm gonna back my team no matter what. So
I mean, same with the Falcons. At
least we're not the Falcons. I'm sorry, the Falcons.
True. Everyone can have
the Browns.
That is also true. Anyway, who do we have next, Matt?
I didn't even get to give my.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Sorry, Jeff.
Jesus.
What do you think, Jeff?
My thoughts. Thank you, Allison, for asking. I've never seen Little Giants. The only experience I've ever had with the movie was in a Orlando hotel room where the Deacons, myself, AJ, and Juice were all drinking. Chance is on the other side of the hotel room, sitting locked in, blasting Little Giants on the hotel television, not interacting with us.
That's a damn.
When Frank and I first started dating, he told, and this was like 10 years ago at this point, but he told me at the time the only movie that has ever made him cry up until that point was the ending of Little Giants, when he runs across the football field to his dad and gets the touchdown. He's like, I don't know what it is. Makes me cry every time.
It's a beautiful movie. Beautiful.
It's so beautiful. Makes me cry too, but then again, what doesn't? So anyway.
Next up, we got 4 more left. Next up, the pit boss is back, baby. Drip, drip, or that ain't it. We're going to start off with Allison this time.
I mean, I've not been able to watch Ken Knapsack back when he played, but I'm loving that he has all of his passes and from his Comic-Cons and everything around his neck. It shows how nerdy he is and how much he loves what he loves. So I'm gonna go drip drip because I think it's fun.
Winston.
I'm split on this one again, and I love me some Ken. It's only because I don't know if it was ever announced how things kind of went down, but like
the behind the scenes is known.
Okay, so that we had the COVID issue, so that's why we go. Okay, so that means that Ken just had this in his car. It was just in his car, just waiting. Because he wasn't initially supposed to play. So my guy went to his car and said, I got an outfit, and grabbed every Comic-Con convention pass in his whip. So yeah. That's my boy. But damn.
That's
definitely a drip. That's definitely a
drip drip.
Because that is him being himself, and you cannot say that ain't it.
I love that. To me, that means that Ken is literally the guy that's like, it's like his own version. Like, you guys lived through like a live version of Anchorman where they were asking Ron Burgundy to play the Yaz flute, and he kept saying, no, I can't, I don't have it. Then he pulls his flute out. It's like everyone's been asking Ken Knapsack to come back and play, and he's like, no, I can't. Okay, and like, with all of his badges that he just had waiting in the wings.
Fair enough.
I didn't know
he had the best entrance though. He
did.
had the best entrance.
Yeah,
and I had to introduce himself.
I know. I had fun, dicking around with my entrance, but he definitely wins for that. Just for like, and competitor 39, and then just literally walking off and then introducing himself. That's fire.
Me,
yeah. It was great.
All right. Next up, I'll start this one off. If y'all don't say this is drip, y'all got some issues. A personal robe, like you a prize fighter. Hell yeah, that's drip drip. All right, my homerism is done. Proceed.
Do you have the second robe though? That's the question.
I did not get a screenshot of the second robe because that is the original robe. For those who don't know, go watch on this actual YouTube channel. Radish started here. But that is the original robe, that first robe he came out in, and the entrance is a part of it. When he goes from that raggedy maroon robe and drops it into this, gotta love it.
Yeah, because I was saying the original one was not. This one, I'll give it to him.
I mean, I can't because I know he was naked under there, and that doesn't make me comfortable. So I gotta say that ain't it because I know the truth.
I'm loving Jake's comment in here. Radis is absolutely drip because we have the same house shoes.
Love me some good house shoes.
Who doesn't love?
This is nothing but drip.
You know what? I love Radis, and I just like it was uncomfortable in New York having him stand so close to me in his robe with nothing underneath. Like, it was real. He was right there, and I was like, I don't even know you like that. This is my first live event. I only just started getting into this, and that's what's coming my way. So it's not my thing. So I mean, at least it has his name on it this time, so no one else will touch it.
Fair. Jeff.
Drip.
Jesus.
You like drip. All right. Fine, Jeff, we're gonna start off with you this time. Drip, drip, or that ain't it.
Is that a tan suit he's wearing?
I think they call that ball sack tan. Or was it?
Jesus.
Well, now all I see is a big fucking testicle on the screen. Thank you. And I mean, it makes sense. As a heel, he truly is a dick. So I guess I'll say that ain't it.
All right, Amaru.
So we were continuously trying to figure out whether or not he had a shirt on underneath. That's the problem,
bro.
However,
every time I looked at him, I'm like, that man is walking around shirtless with a blazer on.
Yes. However,
that's a style nowadays.
Look at his chest. That is clearly darker. He has a reverse farmer's tan. That's all.
Yeah. That green jacket is fire. So I'm gonna have to say, because it's on the outside, ultimately it's drip. But man, that shirt choice was suspect.
Wait, is this a green? Is this a green jacket?
I believe it's green.
Oh, because I'm partially colorblind. If I got that wrong, that's just me.
I mean, I unsubscribed from my J. Crew catalog subscription a while ago for kind of these very reasons. So I'm gonna go that ain't it.
I mean, the biggest thing with that ain't it on this one, man. You gotta like make sure you are matching properly. You can do the two tones, but those aren't the two tones that work well together. You know what I mean?
Should also make sure if you're wearing a shirt that it should look like you're actually wearing it.
Like you're naked. Like my favorite thing in the whole world is whenever I'm like, I don't know if all the fellas in here that are married or dating someone serious, where you could be dead ass asleep. The minute your girlfriend or your wife happens to get out and she just drops the towel because she's about to put clothes on your ass, say, huh? What happened? Who wake? What had like the spider sense just kicks in. So the issue is that shirt he's wearing reminds me of the times whenever like Kristen is getting ready and she's already put underwear on, but I can't tell because it's nude underwear. So I'm like, baby, you just naked, but she's not. Like she's got like it's the same thing. I was like, Nick, put a shirt on, sir. This is children watch this show. And he's like, I do have a shirt on. I said, ain't nobody told you to get a flesh color shirt, bro. Come on now.
All right. But last and certainly not least, this is always the one we finish with, and it's the best one. Drip, drip, or that ain't it.
That's actually flesh. No. No. Not at all.
I mean, look, I have a very reliable source that says Bobby Gucci does 10,000 push-ups every morning before he starts his day. So I think the man is allowed to be.
What's the reliable?
It might be, but mind your business. Mind your business on who the actual culprit is here.
Mind your business. You see, mind.
Mind your business.
Mind your business.
All right.
Oh, that was fun.
Well, folks, that was drip, drip, or that ain't it. Thank you guys for indulging us in that. But next up, we're going to bring this wheel back up, and we are going to spin again. I know what Rue's hoping for, and I know I'm hoping for the same thing.
You just nudge it, Matt.
It is.
I
What
can't
you always
nudge it.
do.
Star Wars is back.
There was a Star Wars match for patrons.
There was?
Huh?
Yes, there was.
There was. There was also a Star Wars exhibition match, but we're not going to talk about that one.
No, we're not going to talk about the exhibition.
I to be honest, didn't take notes on this one because I did not think we would land on it. But it was a good match.
I knew the 5-pointer, which made me happy. The robot.
I never know.
It was Burkett and Ross Arsenault.
Zach
Got
and
it.
Zach.
Okay.
Yep. And Ross. Both came in with Ross had only played one Star Wars match last season, so he came with the record of 0-1. Zach came in with the record of 1-1.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, 1-1. First round goes off, ends up in Zach's favor, I believe. So he's going into round 2, up on Ross. It was a really good back and forth match for sure. The only issue that I kind of had with this match is the way that some of the questions were read. The flow with some of them was a little bit off, so I could understand the use of multiple repeats or trying to understand. I would have challenged the one question about who played Shmi in one of the prequels that she was definitely not in.
I believe they said Revenge of the Sith.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if it was Ross's question or Zach's question, but Ross was definitely like, okay, that's not the movie she's in. I'm going to answer the question anyway.
Right.
That's why you got to have a manager. It's not because I don't know if Ross is on.
I think he's a lone wolf.
Yeah, I believe so, which is fine. Yeah. But
that's kind of the good thing of having a manager is you have people there that are able to catch things like this that can help out in that situation. So even if it's a challenge, even if you got it right, like if you do the dumb, like Guy did back when he was managing Bateman against Radis, and it was a dumb challenge to go in and throw after he'd already gotten the question right, and it didn't really matter, but it's like it's still giving you that time and that moment to kind of let's simmer down, let's ease into, like there's a reason why it's good. I feel like it's better to have a manager than not to have one with you, because you can definitely see when you're in the moment. So even though he got it right, I still would have said, like, I would challenge the question's validity. If I wouldn't have gotten it, then that's exactly what I would have done, because I'm like, but she wasn't in it. Yeah. Trick question. Mike, I would have my cousin Vinny'd him.
Yeah. I know some people weren't necessarily happy with Brad or Steph. I didn't. Like, Brad and Steph are two great people. Like, they might not be Star Wars people. Well, Steph is a Star Wars person, but don't get on them for pronunciation.
No.
Like I hate when people do that. It's I get that we as fans know it, but don't jump on people for that.
No, and it's not the pronunciation. It was the way that it was the extra pauses where and that was more so like the flow of how the questions were being asked. That was where I can't pronounce things for shit when it comes to Star Wars. So you're not going to see me calling a Star Wars match anytime soon. I mean, you wouldn't anyway, but it was just the way that it flowed, and it would pause. It would sound like the question was over, but there was still more to it. That's where.
Well, to be fair, sometimes, especially for those people who aren't as familiar with some of this, it's just like you're trying to make sure you're not going to mispronounce what's ahead of it, because it is Star Wars, and there is a lot of stuff that is hard to pronounce. Sure. Like Winston, you're man. Amaru, you're an IG player. You got to deal with Star Wars questions at times too. Like, you got to know some weird shit and how to say it, or else you're not going to get those points.
Oh, 1,000%. I mean, it's why, if we do end up talking about Saul, but, there's questions about why we chose the challenge we chose and why we didn't choose the other one. He said it right. He just spelled it wrong. So, and we believe Saul actually went first on that question. So you put the two of those things together, the kid knew what he was attempting to say. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Like, and that's always been the rule. As long as you're phonetically spelling it correctly and you're saying it correctly, if he'd gone second, then maybe we challenge that because it was spelled so poorly. But
he said it right. He said it right. It was like, all right, I can see how you did that. So I was like, nah, it's whatever.
So same thing with any of the Star Wars pronunciations. It really depends. If it's like a super well-known thing, or if we're in a championship match, I'm probably pulling that trigger 10 times out of 10, because it's like, hey, the worst thing that could happen is they get it right and we lost a challenge. But, we would expect you might end up, because we did that. I did that with Ace first digital season, his very first Star Wars match, because the kid called it Kimundi, and it was like, that's not Homeboy's name, bro.
Yeah. No, I think like my biggest issue is just kind of like with how it all. And again, it's not on them. It's not on anything else. It did feel like it was a little bit rushed to get together and get out by May the 4th.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's kind of where, and again, that's not on anyone. I'm not blaming Brad or Steph or whatever. It just, I would hope that for future matches, if we're going to keep making this a patron only thing, that we put just as much effort towards it as we're putting towards everything else.
We don't know when it was filmed. And in all honesty, for all we know, it could have been filmed a couple weeks ago when Brad Gilmore was preparing for his wedding, because people have things they have to do in life. So,
true. But again, it's at the end of the day, it's a production thing where you're paying extra to see this. Like, I'm not paying extra to watch Friday Night Titans, and I love what's going on with it. But the Star Wars competitors are also working just as hard as everybody else. And so I would hope that we're going to get, and if people are going to be paying extra to see it, that we get a product that is worth the extra money to see, but also one that is that's indicative of how much work they're all putting into it. Not saying it's bad. I'm not saying it's terrible. Yeah. I just would like to see a little bit more effort on that front. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, I totally understand that. And I mean, the only thing that I could say in that regard, because yes, you should be getting the maximum product, especially if you're paying extra money to do so. I think we've been trying to figure out as a league how Star Wars was going to work. because one of the biggest things is, I mean, obviously Rue lives on the other side of the country, and those individual matches are one thing. The only Star Wars player that lives in Los Angeles, to my knowledge, is Ace. There might have been some of the newer Star Wars players, but everyone else, Zach, Harper, Laura, Damons, the Demolantas, everybody lives outside of the city. And so it was going to be very tricky to try and set up a number of matches like that. And so they've been trying to figure that out. And I think maybe that might have had something to do with it, is just trying to figure out how to make it work properly.
Christian broke it on this show. So he let everyone know that we're considering putting it behind a paywall, just so like, hey, you can still get your Star Wars. We know this has been a division that people have come to love over the last couple of years because of how we started getting it weekly. And if we don't do it this way, then we might not be able to do it at all, which a lot of people, me included, understood. I rather have it in some way or fashion rather than not at all, because I've become so attached to that division. I love that division.
For sure.
I love getting to see the Aces, the Toms Harpers, the Demolantas. Just it's fun. And yeah, is it the one division where it's harder to get questions for a lot of people? Yeah. But as someone who's a massive Star Wars fan, I'll gladly sit down and watch people talk about or do trivia on my favorite series of all time.
Absolutely. And I'm excited that we're getting it. And even so, like, I'm excited that Ross was able to get his first win. And to do so and our first Star Wars match wasn't a total blowout. It wasn't a TKO or a KO. It was, we went all 3 rounds all the way out to those 5-point questions. And I thought that they both did a really, really good job.
Yeah.
For sure. So I don't want to give too much of it away, though. Like, I want people to
I want people to sign up for Patreon and go watch it, because I think that's important.
Part of it.
To have this survive going forward.
Mm-hmm.
So
people got to see Ace get that belt back. So
hey, let's go.
Winston,
should have had the first place. Damn it!
You know how much I love you, but I'm rooting for Thomas Harper over Ace. Anyways, let's bring that wheel back up.
Oh, it's okay. I didn't have to contribute any thoughts. It's fine.
Oh,
I was gonna say, come on,
just keep doing this, man. You were the worst.
Hey,
bro.
no, that's the first time I did it. Allison did it all the other times. So
I did it one time during well, you were on your phone, Jeff, so I was making sure you weren't dealing with anything important.
I didn't watch it, so you can revive.
you sir are swallowing. Let's bring that wheel back up. All right, come on. Get me what I want. Get me what I want.
I heard you cheated at this anyway, so you're probably gonna get what you want.
No. Gotta spin again.
Okay. Likely story.
I
feel like you sabotaged it at the last second so we could get off your trail.
Top 3. Allison, take it away.
All right. So, top 3, again, this is just a list of things I kind of come up with. Want to hear people's top 3. Some will be Schmodown related, some just kind of life related. The first thing I want to bring up is definitely Schmodown related. So we had a really intense heel turn, I guess we could say, on this episode. So for everyone here, what are your top 3 heel turns of the Schmodown overall?
I mean, this is up there. If I'm being honest, I heard what Jeff was saying, and I heard I had a lot going on this weekend, so I wasn't super privy to the supposed drama that was happening and whatnot. All I was told when I got there, they were like, "We're just gonna make Dan pretend to be a guy named Jeff," and like I was like 22 Jump Street shit, and they were like, "Exactly," and I was like, "Cool," and so like, and then if they win, if they lose, we'll do one thing, but if they win, Dan is about to open a can of whoop ass on everybody, and all this did was genuinely now make me go, Dan might be the undisputed GOAT just because not just the titles. I think people give him a hard time being like, Dan don't really do character work like that. Dan just killed that shit. Fam, Dan was phenomenal, both pretending to be Jeff and then not this Jeff, but his version of Jeff. But then also just being a villain. I straight up was like, this man was my friend. I would slap the taste out of his mouth. The fuck is wrong with you? Like,
real quick, I didn't see this comment. I think it's great that Star Wars is behind the paywall because I would not let kids randomly stumble across YouTube and being exposed to Gold Leader.
It's true.
Gotta love Brother Lomas.
Happy birthday per the internet to Jake Yakavetta from Brooklyn. I gotta say, Dan as Jeff, crouching, yelling Sidney Lumet might have been one of the funniest things that's ever happened in this.
Sidney Lumet.
We were dying watching that live.
I wish y'all could have been there because being in the actual audience for that was the funniest shit ever. It was so funny.
Just like, how I hope his back was okay after that.
Went to the chiropractor very soonly after. So we got that up there.
For me, Dan will probably be number one, but I also like Chandru's gradual heel turn. Underrated one was my number 3 would probably be Ken going
That's
heel
my number
on
2.
Rachel.
That's
Ken
my number 2.
Going heel on Rachel was also another good one.
Yeah, no. For me, I guess my number 3 would be Thomas Harper because we got used to this nice kind of baby face, straight faced Harper, and then at Spectacular, he just flipped a switch, and we were all just like, "Huh?" So
I was very drunk in Texas watching that, and it blew my mind. I was like, "What is he doing? What happened?" I was with a bunch of friends. I was like, "I don't know what's going on. What happened?"
And you've been sober ever since.
And that was the weekend I chose that I was going to go a year with no more drinking because Thomas Harper really fucked me up.
Also in my top 3, Laura Kelly. Her turn to the dark side was phenomenal, and I don't know. It's underrated how much shit talk this woman is so good at slanging it, folks. Like, she would send me some of her promos and be like, "Do you think this?" I'm like, "The fuck, you a goddamn genius!" Like, she genuinely is an evil mastermind. It felt like Rue and Matt, like, she had been sitting down playing Dozens with the Sith, like, way back in the day, bro. Like, you could just tell. I was like, okay, Laura, they got a little edge to you.
That Joker promo was fire,
right?
That was phenomenal. I don't have a top 3 because I'm new. So,
but I'll say this: my number, because I already my 2 and 3 are already revealed. My number 1's Mike Kalinowski. That'll forever be the number 1 heel turn for me. Like, that is just because I used to be a Mike fan. I have not been a Mike fan since he turned heel. I ain't even going for him. Like,
all right.
That was
Logan even
well,
says,
by the way.
Kalinowski turning on DC movie news, Ken turning on Rachel, Dagnino turning on Makuga. I forgot about Dagnino turning on Makuga. That's a deep cut. I like that, Leo. I like that.
I mean, I would have to say, because I personally got my feelings hurt, my number 3 would be that traitorous ass Snake Eric Zipper.
That would hurt.
I mean, we're good now. We're good now. But at the time,
that would hurt my heart.
The man got naked and threw a shirt at me that I bought for him. That's those disrespect. He improvised that shit too. That was genuinely a moment where he said, "You know what?" And he just took the shirt off and threw it in my face. And I used it. I was like, "Bitch, I bought that for your birthday." Like,
I was
like, you know what this scene needs? My nipples.
I wasn't open like not to black man. Not to black man. No.
Not to black man. No.
I just want to say, if Winston ever makes his turn to going back to playing, I want that episode to be called The Black Man Returns.
Black Man Returns. Black Man Forever, bro. That's the one I'm excited for. The Black Man Rises. That's what that shit's about to be.
That's when you win a title. That's when you win a title in IG.
Black Man is Robin, not Black Man and Robin. Black Man is Robin. Black Man is Robin.
Damn. You just disrespecting your manager like that. How could you, Drew? How could you?
Robin's a savage. What you talking about?
I'm just talking about demoting you from black man to Robin, though. That's what I'm referring to.
Bro, I'm a Nightwing fan over Batman.
Robin the Wind.
We're still going. Why are you bringing the wheel up?
I'm robbing you.
Robbing people of things. That's what that was. Not
okay.
Robin. Yeah.
Jeff, what do you have down for some of your top 3 heel turns?
Just want to point out that Allison pointed out to ask me this question after Matt once again brought up the wheel before the thing was over.
Because we still have plenty of time to go on this.
He mentioned some.
A bunch of other top 3s to go.
I get it. I mentioned 2 people. I responded to the Dan thing, and then I also spoke up briefly on the KO thing. But for me, I guess I don't really have any others that really make much more sense. I mean, I guess Harper would be the other one that works really well. The problem that I have with saying some of these, like Dan's and Harper's, is that at least to me, I find them to be too new that I don't want to just say they're definitely there. I want to have just a little more time before actually saying that. So that's why I have like an asterisk for me.
That makes sense. Next top 3, and this is one of my favorites that I love asking people, is what are the top 3 movies that no matter what you're doing, when they come on, you stop what you're doing and you sit down to watch?
My mom literally asked me this question 2 days ago. And then before I can answer, she's like, for me, it's My Cousin Vinny. And then never let me answer it.
It's a good choice, though. It's a real good choice.
But honestly, My Cousin Vinny would be one of mine.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Winston, go.
I mean, we all know the first 2 Rush Hours are a part of that. Adam Sandler's The Longest Yard, and probably. Let me think on the third one, but those so far those are 2, because everybody knows I count Rush Hour 1 and 2 as one film.
Sure.
I gotta think about the third, man.
Great
Homie, you want a theater size poster from Adam Sandler's The Longest Yard? I got one that I don't want no more.
I don't really have anywhere to put it. I don't know if I bring in more movie posters, I'm gonna get my ass whooped. So I'm not. I'm
gonna make sure I bring it when I see you in LA next.
So disrespectful, bro. You're so disrespectful. I swear to God.
What about?
Hi, Kristen. Nice to meet you. Winston asked me to bring this to him.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze.
Ooh, what's a good one? That's the first movie I remember seeing in movie theaters, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Little 5-year-old Allison. Going to see that one. Rue, what about you?
There's a bunch. Outside of like geeky stuff, though, Inception, Blind Spotting, and any of the Ocean's trilogy.
Oh, yeah, nice. I was going to potentially say Inception. The only thing is, if you catch Inception at the wrong moment, I'm not stopping to watch it, and not because it's a bad movie, because it's a bad movie, but there are parts that are good, but are good in the context of I'm watching the whole film. If you're just sitting there to watch them, some parts can be a little boring because it is a setup for the big like mind heist. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So like it just depends on what time that's all going down.
Yeah. But anytime I can do it. If you have not seen or heard of the movie Blind Spotting, go sit your ass down.
Blind Spotting is so fucking good, and the TV show continuation,
so good. So good.
Winston, have you seen Blind Spotting?
Oh, of course. Absolutely. That's why when Roka got mad about what was the 3-point question for him about Blind Spotting, he's like, "Ain't no 3-point question. Who saw that movie?" I said, "Everybody." The fuck you talking about?
Let me make sure I got the director's name right. What is it? Is it Carlos Lopez Estrada?
It is Carlos Lopez Estrada.
Yes. Yeah, and that he follows up Blind Spotting with like, you know what? Next I'll do Raya and the Last Dragon.
What
a different movie that is. What it's like. How do you be like? Yeah, I saw that. You know, it'd be great. An animated martial arts epic.
Yeah, agreed, Maxwell.
Blind Spotting is so good. Yes.
What else you got, Jeff? So you said My Cousin Vinny.
I mean, like, if I just gave 3 right now, just the 3 off the top of my head. Well, no, I have to get ready for Cats. I have to have the drinks ready. I gotta have the rules ready in order to drink to it. I have to have the group with me. That is an event to me when I watch.
It is an event.
Okay.
I will never watch that movie again in my life.
It's because you make so many fucking mistakes in your life, Matt, and you just keep doing it. The other movies that I'll just throw out there would be Tropic Thunder and The Other Guys. Like for me,
Tropic
more
Thunder.
than like there's plenty of sci-fi, awesome action films and whatnot that are all really enjoyable. But if there's a movie that's going to catch me and I'm going to end up sitting down and watching all of it, it's going to end up being comedies for the most part. Also, I know they keep putting it in the chat, all these people there. Zach M, yes. When you mentioned Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, he is from a friend group, the resident Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles expert.
Also, this whole category to Jeff doesn't really make sense because he only watches a movie once and then he won't watch it again for the rest of the year. So really, there's no sitting down and finishing it until the end. Correct. Which
watch it. If I'm not going to watch a movie a second time when I can watch another movie that I haven't watched yet.
Yeah, no. I just watched The Other Guys for the first time a couple weeks ago too. So
it's my own perspective on watching movies. But yes,
no, I respect it. For me, it just depends. Like I think the biggest part is, am I in the mood? Like if I'm gonna put a new movie on, like I need to actually like be in the mood to do that. Sometimes I just need something that I can listen to, like an old album that I love, and let it play while I'm doing something or while I'm just wasting time. So that I can.
I get that.
Yeah.
I did it the other day when I watched Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny. I'm like, I just need that. That's what I need right now while I'm working.
So my three, I'll say this: Star Trek 09, which is funny enough because I was talking about this earlier through. My Mallrats would be one of them, and then
you mentioning that
Fast Five.
Interesting. Okay, I was gonna say you mentioning
Mallrats
made me go, do I say Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back? Like shit.
It's a great flick.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't think Kevin Smith.
So I will say this: my brother, a week and a half ago, met Kevin Smith. Told Kevin Smith about how I introduced him to his movies when he was like 9 years old. And he's like, "Well, that's utterly irresponsible."
I remember I grew up Catholic, so I remember when Dogma came out, and the Monsignor of our church gave a whole Sunday homily about how if any one of you go and see that movie, you are going to go straight to hell. You should never see this movie. It is a stain on Catholicism, and all it made me do was want to see it more. So I went and watched it
at
a friend's house.
As someone who is not a church-going person at all, Dogma is one of my favorite movies.
Dogma is incredible.
Dogma's great. That's so funny though that your church did that. Meanwhile, meanwhile, my church, the one that my mom had to start going to, against my Jewish father's wishes, was the first time they're like, we don't want to be like an old church, we want to be like a new church, and here's how we're gonna do it. And then they showed clips from Bruce Almighty during the sermon.
I love that. That's amazing.
That's pretty
my
great.
Three are typically always going to be those are good choices. My three are usually Casablanca, honestly, Shawshank Redemption, because I just like turning it on and listening to Morgan Freeman's voiceover
and cry
on that whole flick and cry. So, especially if I need a good cry, I just pop on to whatever channel is doing a Harry Potter marathon as well, especially when they're on Deathly Hallows Part 2. When I really need a good cry, that's all I got to do. And then of course we have The Rock and Big Trouble in Little China. Like, come on.
I haven't watched a Harry Potter film in 11 years.
That's your fault.
I'm sorry you live a sad life, Jeff.
Wow. You see the smile? Do you see the smile on my face?
I mean, y'all, I don't know. I don't know if you're.
Dan.
I also was gonna say, I mean, I think that's fine when you consider the last two Harry Potter movies were them Fantastic Beasts, tragedies.
The third one isn't bad, and the first one isn't bad.
Wizarding World franchise that extended and did not need to
aggressively dull. The first one is so aggressively dull. You're like, man, you made the most expensive, like, insomnia cure that I've seen in a while.
Lego knows what's up. Lego knows what's up with some John Carpenter, man. Hell yeah.
Oh, phone booth.
Yes.
Wow, that is an interesting
with Colin Farrell.
Yes, that is a great movie.
Okay.
It is.
I'll have to add that to my you've never seen it list.
Oh, it's like 90 minutes. It is a beautiful, short little film.
One of the best Joel Schumacher movies out there.
Kiefer is very menacing at that voice. It's lovely.
Okay, last top 3, and I always like asking this question because I'm obviously newer within the Schmodown, but if you could give 3 matches to help introduce someone to the Schmodown, what 3 matches would you choose?
And we'll leave it to just you 2 for this one.
Dylon. No, hold on.
Bro, why was I about to say World's Finest versus Kingsman, World's Finest versus Team Trek, and World's Finest versus No, I'm just playing.
One I will go with is the one that got me started was the IG5 way with Jeremy Johns.
Oh, that's a great one.
That is literally the first one I ever watched, and I was like, all right, yep, I'm going back and figuring this shit out. Even though it hurts my soul, I mean, I should probably do something other than IG, but I'm not going to not pick one with mine. The match between, if I'm going to say the match between me and Mike, the championship match. But if it wasn't effed up audio, y'all don't know how good the me and Moose match was. The match with me and Moose was so good. And it's behind the freaking audio issue with the commentary above it. If that was actually being able to be heard, that would be a second one. I'm gonna have to think of a third one though, because I'm gonna end up picking about me, and I can't.
If you studied that video enough, could you and Moose figure out all the words you said and then ADR the whole thing?
We probably could.
Just
spaghetti western that shit. Just do it over.
I forgot about that.
What
you got, Winston?
Yeah, well, he thinks. What do you have, Winston?
I would probably have to say, Guy Merle, but I feel like that's maybe the third one because you need to know a little bit about Guy and you need to know a little bit about Dan.
I watched that one. We did a watch along on Spin from the Reel for the first time earlier this year. It was wild. So watching Christian's face just melt as she realized what was going on is just
No, absolutely. I would say probably all of mine are going to be slightly biased and whatnot. Probably Ace versus Laura Kelly. That was a fucking barn burner and was kind of the beginning of these insane Star Wars matches in the last couple of years of like, you miss, you lose. Literally, they both went perfect with Laura missing one question because she missed the age by 1 year. Like she she was debating between 8 and 7 and picked one of them and it was wrong. And that was it. They literally did not miss another question. And that was the beginning of the end of that. That for Star Wars started to become that. You had to be flawless to win. And then finally, I'll have to go with the one that got me in it in the first place. I saw this taping live. It would be Lon versus Cody Hall, man. That match was hilarious because Lon came in with a full syllabus. He handed it out to the audience. He was like, all right, y'all, this is what we're going to be going over on today's topics. And most of it was like, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Are they really turtles? Like all sorts of just random little things. Cody Hall. Is he a failure? Like it was a very well thought out bit, and Lon played the professor to a T. And I was like, yo, I don't know what the fuck this show is, but I rocks with it just because of that match. So.
Yeah. My third one, mostly because I can't actually remember what the match is. It was because of the post match, and any match with them is actually great. It's the Shire Rules one where Clark goes off in the post match. This isn't. There isn't a women's league.
That's their first title when all the women came out. If I remember.
Yeah, it would be that one. That would be the other one to show.
I love that. Awesome. Well, I'm gonna go watch some of these matches now. Thanks, guys. That's really what this is. So I can take notes on what to do. Okay, bye.
real quick before we get to the last wheel spin, John Lestrina with 2 Streamlabs. What's up, Bullet? Why must I chase the cat? Those were the 2 separate Streamlabs.
All right. Thank you, Lestrina. What a job.
Kick it up a nickel.
Nothing but the dog in me.
Kicking a nickel. Let's kick a nickel. And with that, Let's get to this final wheel spin.
Or Matt just chooses the slice that he wants is what's going to happen.
I see your hand. Put your hands up, damn it.
One gotta stay.
Go.
All right.
Yes. If you don't know, I host a show called One Gotta Stay on Bite Size Breakdown YouTube channel. I give you a whole bunch of options, and instead of just picking one to go, you kick one out, and the work of all the rest of it is gone. Sorry, I had to introduce that. Go ahead, Allison.
Go ahead. So no, you go on. This was actually we this is a good Matt and collab on this one. Basically what we're doing is gonna be kind of keeping it similar, but instead Matt's gonna come up with 3 managers, couple Star Wars champs, maybe a couple IG singles teams champs, and decide apparently now a commissioner. And we just gotta decide who you guys are gonna decide one's gotta stay.
All right. So first up, we got with Amaru being an IG player, we got to start off with IG, right? So first up, from your IG champs, your choices are Mike Kalinowski, Rachel Cushing, and Mara Konopik. One got to stay.
I'm sorry, it's Madam President all day. Rachel Cushing. Point blank. Period.
One got to stay.
One got to stay. It's her. Done.
Okay.
Madam President, come on. What are we talking about here?
No. Let me think about it for a minute.
you about to piss off your star IG player. Let's just put it to you that way. That's what it's looking like.
You didn't give me Amaru as an option. If you gave me Amaru as an option, then this would be a much easier thing.
I can't give you an option because he hasn't won a championship yet.
Fucking
so DJ. Interesting. Oh, is this specifically multi-time champions? Because you conveniently left.
This is just champs. We left it at
3 IG champs. So Mara,
3 for each. So I just
KO and Rachel.
Because the truth is, and this might be controversial, my answer would be Chandru. That would be my answer. Is because not to say that what the other 3 have done. Obviously, it's phenomenal, but I give him so much credit for the fact that for everybody that's like, I love Mike as a heel. I'm sorry, Chandru's done circles around every heel in this league for the history of this league. It's like
taking on a job as a heel that no one wants to take on. Like, who wants to be the person to take on Kevin Smets when he comes back? Because if you beat him, you're a piece of shit. If you lose to him, like, you're gonna get your ass handed to you in the comments for lose. Like he's gone into these situations that are completely no win, but understanding the assignment, being okay with it, and just running with it, knowing the amount of shit that's going to come his way. And if that's not the epitome of a true fantastic heel, I don't know what is.
And also, to the end of the world. He really is. He really is the sweetest person on the entire planet. He just understands the assignment, and the only bad match that he's had in his whole career since that one loss at the very beginning was against Mike when we were back live again, and we just got tripped up hardcore by that X-Men category. If that doesn't happen, and that I take a lot of that blame for that, because we had a conversation when we spun the wheel, and we were like, okay, Paul just did his X-Men category in IG. They must have gotten rid of all those stupid ass quote questions. There's no way that they wrote infinite more of them. So it's worth a shot to go for it, since we know we've kind of thinned the herd a little bit on that, but it completely backfired. And once you're playing catch up, especially in IG, that is very hard to make up ground. It's easier in regular and teams. It is much harder in IG and Star Wars, and that was the unfortunate position we found ourselves in. But I got to give it to Chandru, man. He's pretty incredible.
What are the names that are on the list again?
Not Chandru, but
yeah. I just want to make sure, so I could just shout you out. Good job on making a list of names, so we could talk about someone that wasn't even included there. I'm just real proud of you.
Amaru followed the assignment. We're gonna move on to singles real quick, though.
Hey, the first rule of drip, motherfucker? Fuck your rules. That's the first rule of drip.
I thought it was we don't talk about drip.
Allison, what was your answer?
I love this man. I swear to God, I love this
Allison.
man and don't want to beat his ass half the time. I swear I don't want to beat this man's ass half the time. I want to say another word, but I'm gonna respect the other people on the show and not say the other word.
Jeff, who's gonna stay? KO, Rachel, or Mara?
Because Matt was trying to push on again, and I still hadn't given an answer. You just
I just said hey.
You're a really good host. You're doing an amazing job. You've come a long way. I'd say she's doing fine. No, out of all three, the one who I have the actual closest any kind of like personal relationship to would be Mara. So just through that alone, I would choose Mara.
I'm with Amaru. I'm choosing Cushing.
I mean, if you're really gonna put a gun to my head, I think I'd take Cushing. If I had to pick, part of that is probably also the relationship side of things, but there's also just something about she's one of the first to be double belted. There's already been double belted folks before you had like Sam and whatnot, but like she married the other person that was the first to be double belted. So that's just a power couple if I've ever heard one. The fact that she, just did the breadth of knowledge that she has, and the fact that even she was close to being a singles champ at one point. Like there's just a lot there. So Rachel would be the answer.
Allison.
I mean, I would love to say Rachel because of the history that I know, but I've not really gone back and watched her play or gone that far back into Showdown. So I don't think it's fair for me to say that. But going off of my experience and my knowledge and what I know, and again, relationships, I think Mara is just a gem. And I think she's wonderful and she's incredible. And so with that, I would definitely go with Mara as well. And I want to try her baking recipe. So also.
And somewhere producer Chris Anthony Lopez is screaming his head off because nobody picked Corruption's own.
Well, he's not here. So anyway, next one.
Next one is singles. I have Dan Murrell, Sam Levine, Ben Bateman.
One's got to stay.
One's got to stay.
It's also very easy for me.
That is.
Sam Levine.
I'm with you, Amaru.
I was gonna say Sam Levine.
The three black men all agree. What do the white people say?
Whoa!
Well, damn.
Yo, remember when this panel?
Remember when your camera doesn't work anymore? That's crazy. What? Oh wow! Where did I go?
Matt, I'm just really proud of you. Once again, I just want to make sure that you understand how proud I am of you, because for so long this show was advertised as like the after show
of diversity,
of people of color, and I'm just so glad that you chose to just bring a little less color to this.
Hey,
got jokes for this.
But they brought a woman. And that's
bingo.
That's where the mistakes began.
I would honestly say again, the only thing I've seen from Sam is watching this season. He's a beast, but for me, would probably actually say Dan Murrell, because if my husband wasn't watching the Danger Zone midterms match and I didn't sit down and watch it because I knew who Dan Murrell was, I wouldn't be here in Showdown. So I would probably have to say Dan Murrell.
I choose Jeff.
His name is Jeff.
My name is
Jeffy
Jeff.
like apples. Jeffy like
apples. All right, who we got up next, Matt?
All right, next up, we got team champs. Your options are the Patriots, Shazam, and the Shire Wolves.
Shire Wolves.
Fuck you.
Oh, I've not watched them play, but I'm going Shire Wolves just because of Clark Wolf going off. And
Shire Wolves all day.
Shire Wolves. I gotta go Shazam. So first of all, if you name your team after the worst football team that ever existed, you're not getting my vote. So kiss my ass on that shit. Second of all, Second of all, as far as Shazam goes, if you're talking about the greatest team to ever play, I will give you that for Shazam. But if you're talking
that's
about
where I'm going. That's where I'm going personally. But it's however you interpret it.
But to me, that's not enough just to say who plays the best, because the truth is, like, there are arguments potentially for some of these others gotta stays that they aren't necessarily the overall end all be all greatest person to have ever done the said trivia, but there is something special about them that kind of the same way that, like, you talk about Michael Jordan and he's like the GOAT, but he's not
player of all time.
He is the best player of all time,
Second
but
best
it's also
player of all time.
Winston, I knew I liked you for so many reasons, and this is probably my number one now.
Real fair. Fair. I appreciate that.
My husband's from Chicago, so grew up watching 90s Bulls. So Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time.
Winston, before you go off on George, it is his birthday.
Happy birthday.
I was just about to say your dad had to come and bail you out, but that's fine. Happy birthday, Mr. Thomas.
Yes.
No, but I'm just saying in the sense that, like, for example, Michael may be the greatest player of all time, but he's not the greatest shooter. Stop it. Sure. He's not the greatest shooter. The greatest shooter at this point is very clearly Steph. That's not really a conversation, but there are things that Michael can do that Steph can't by a lot. You know what I'm saying? So same thing. Are the Shirewolves like maybe the most accurate, like got the most points, like most defense? No, but what they mean for the league, what they were able to accomplish, all of that, I don't even think it's close. For me, at least, it's not.
This one was a little tougher because I love me some Shazam, but yeah,
I do.
Mm-hmm. Jeff, are you just high eating Nutella right now?
Absolutely. And
I love it.
I'm so glad that we started at 9 instead of 8. If we started at 8, I wouldn't have been able to speak.
Jeff is a mood that I aspire to be.
All right. Well,
all right, last up.
No, we got 3 more. We got 3 more.
Oh, okay.
Star Wars champs. Ken Knapsack, Alex Damon, Thomas Harper.
Alex Damon.
I'm keeping Ken. I love Ken. It's more for the knowledge and the personality together. The man's a gem. With the announcing and everything together, like, I want to see Ken. Love Alex, but yeah, Ken's my dude, bro. It's a good ass time, so I'm going Ken.
The minute Alex lost the belt and started doing like the Charlie from Always Sunny conspiracy theory ass, like, and if I do this and I do that, then I'll get back to the belt. Like, I was like, okay, you're boom. Like not just for being the longest holding belt holder of all time, but dude, Alex Damon for me for sure.
Winston, you're also an Always Sunny fan. I think we just became best friends.
Have you been listening to the It's Always Sunny podcast?
I have not been. I didn't know there was one.
God. It's Charlie, Charlie, and Rob, and each episode, or at least the intent, is that they're going to, with Megan in the background producing, discuss individually every episode from the beginning, talk about what worked, what didn't work, what didn't age well, with all the hindsight, but they frequently keep getting like sidetracked. There's a whole episode where they were going to talk about something, and instead it's all about how Rob McElhenney almost got in a fight at the parking lot of an In-N-Out.
Oh, wow.
And the drive-through line with his kids in the car because now his rotor kids. It's great.
For St. Patrick's Day, they just sit there in Rob's like office at home and just progressively
take shots of whiskey.
Like they just take shots and drink, and then try and see if they can come up with a show idea. They can't by the
end. But for my Star Wars you go, Jeff.
I was just finishing my statement.
I know. I'm saying you pick who's your Star Wars player. One
Ken, Alex, or Harper.
I'd probably just have to go. I consider Harper to be a personal friend, at this point. So I'm going to go with Harper because of that. I loved everything he did last year, and how he was able to shift by the end, and just I'm endlessly impressed with him there. I have a great memory, and then I'll move on from it to other people talking. When he came out and then saw the video of what he looked like with his makeup on.
Oh no.
He was like, "Oh my God, did people think that I was in blackface?" Because he was convinced that at one point. and he was like so worried because of it. Because he tried another shade of green, and his wife told him he looked like the Grinch. So before that,
this is great.
I go Harper. That's
Allison.
I have to go with what I know and what I've seen and what I've watched, and kind of with that and relationships being built. I'm with Jeff. I also would go Harper.
Speaking of Harper and Alex Damon, we're both on my Star Wars episode of One Gotta Stay with the Damons and the DeMolantes. Go check it out.
Nice.
I love the DeMolanta so much.
Spin from the real people. Clean sweep. Thomas Harper, because once again, personal relationship there. So
what I like is that when we started talking Star Wars champs, Brennan showed up in the chat.
I was gonna say Brennan.
He did.
Brennan.
Brennan's a G. Hi, Brennan.
All right. Now we're gonna go to managers. And your options are Emma Fife, Shannon Barney, and Tom Dagnino.
Oh, Shannon.
No, Winston, you're a part of the panel, so I didn't put you on the list. Stop it.
I'm going Shannon all day.
I knew exactly what he was about to say.
I love what Dagnino did this past year with all the rookies, and I think that was smart, and it brought a whole lot of new talent into the Showdown for sure. But I have to go Shannon. I love everything about her. I think she is amazing, and I gotta go Shannon.
Yeah.
Emma.
Ooh.
Emma,
Okay.
because you're the groundwork and the foundation that's there. But on top of the fact that like the modern version of what you're seeing out of managers as far as any sort of training and stuff like that, Emma was doing that. Dagnino, I love it. That's my guy. He's way too busy, but Dagnino just is a great mouthpiece. That's what's going on there. Is he is a great mouthpiece. So obviously what Shannon has done the last 2 years has been phenomenal, but I give it up to Emma just because she was the OG. She laid the foundation there.
I was gonna say Shannon at first. The amount of loyalty there and how she goes back for her players, and then I remembered she gave us Adam, which I thank you so very much for. We appreciate it. Love that. But I'm going. My gut said Emma, so I'm going Emma as well.
Jeff?
I have a more personal relationship with Tom Dagnino, and in December, he came into my Airbnb, and one of the first things he did was when he met my wife was try to convince her that LA was out of water.
What the fuck, man?
She's like, we're gonna go to the grocery store, and we can pick up like water and stuff. He's like, no, can't do it. They're out. Well, there's a Trader Joe's right around the corner. Nope, they're gone. It's gone everywhere in the county. It's gone. And she's like, what? And I said, Paulina, he's lying to you right now.
Poor Paulina. Poor Paulina.
I go with Tom for, once again, the personal relationship.
So Tom is partly personal because he took a chance on my boy Rick. So, but other than that, he and the man on this screen below me were like the two managers I've gravitated towards ever since we started this new era. So if Winston was on this list, I'd probably pick Winston, but since he's not, I'm going Tom.
And whose fault is that?
You are on the panel, sir. You are on the panel. I was making sure you weren't picking yourself.
Maybe I would have picked someone else. You don't know.
I wasn't taking that risk, my brother.
That's probably smart because I would not have. I would have chosen myself, but you never know.
There you go.
All right, Matt, what do we got left?
And last but not least, your favorite One Gotta Stay commissioners: Sam Levine, Grace Randolph, or Christian Arnold.
Grace Randolph.
Great, I'm tired, bro. Wow, Grace Hancock. Why'd I say Randolph?
Grace Randolph is a very different person, dude.
Very different person.
Very different person.
Okay, hi. So I have a rumor here. I have a rumor. The rumor is that Christian Harloff will be playing in Star Wars. This is what I've heard. I don't know how real that is, but we would love to see that, wouldn't we? I mean, that might be something that ends up happening.
You're just trying to get your ass in trouble.
No, he's clearly doing a Grace Randolph impression right there.
Yes.
He's
Thank you, Jeff.
just make up some shit and say, "Yo, I got my
thank you,
sources."
Jeff.
Sources, trust me, don't worry.
Yo, I haven't watched her in like 10 years, so
I don't watch her. I just have seen the tweets. Oh man, remember when they announced the cast to Lady and the Tramp, and she's like, "They race switched Lady." What the fuck are you talking about? It's a dog.
So commissioners, who's saying?
I'm going back to Sam. Sam's my guy. So
Wow. Okay.
Sam, Christian, or Grace? Sam. I think Sam.
I just want y'all to know your boss listens to this show.
I remember.
Okay,
none.
and he is. And name a better chairman than Christian Harloff. You can't. But you asked me about commissioner.
You need to remind me. Maybe it's because it's been so long. When was Sam a commissioner?
It was like the last season we were in person.
Yeah.
And technically his Shmominati ass was kind of secretly commissioner last year too. So
man, the writing, perfect. No holes, no notes. I don't know.
I'm going Christian because I remember him being commissioner when he won the title, and he's like, everybody's gonna think this shit's rigged, and I felt bad for him at that moment in time.
I got no skin in the game, so I'm abstaining from this one. I plead the fifth.
I'm gonna have to abstain too because I literally don't remember any of Sam, and I just don't think that it's fair.
I love that. Well, guys, with that, we are coming to an end on this episode of Spin from the Reel. But before we end, want you guys, Rue and Winston, to plug what you guys got going on. So, Rue, we'll start with you.
Amaru Moses, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's pretty easy to find me. My name is my name. Go listen to that Pusha T album, by the way. And we've said it a bunch. We just had the slice. I write for Bite Size Breakdown, bitesizebreakdown.com. We do reviews for TV shows and movies, 100 words or less. It's a deep crew of us, including Miss Paige for Betty, who's also part of the crew. And then the Bite Size Breakdown YouTube channel, my show, One Gotta Stay, where I give you options, impossible choices. We pick
and a racist list today.
Sure. Again, blame the people who voted for the Star Trek list. If you want to say what characters are going forward in our One Geek character tournament, when I post a bite-sized poll, go vote to see who you want moving forward to be on the list. But anyway, on Bite Size Breakdown YouTube channel, it was on Yuri Reviews, moved it over to Bite Size Breakdown. Go check it out. Go subscribe. Fun times. Thank you.
Awesome. And Winston, where can we find you? What you got going on?
Right now the biggest thing, there's I guess two. The first, the show that I have been casting this last 10 weeks, Who Do You Believe on ABC, is out, so go check that out. Trying to get these ratings up. It's on Tuesday nights. I don't know what time. I want to say 10 p.m. Pacific. It's the later show, but it's a true crime reenactment. If it does well and there's season 2, your boy got another job. So go watch that for show for the ratings. And then, of course, if you're familiar with Birds in the Hood, check that out. We have a live show on Juneteenth weekend that's coming out. So you don't want to miss your tickets. You can check out my IG for the link. You know where to find me everywhere that Swaggy Blurs are sold. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Twitch, all that good stuff. And I should be back on Twitch this week since the job is winding down. I have time to finally stream again, and since I'm not on call 24/7. So much love. Thank you for having me on the show.
Does that mean we get to go back to the trying to make you watch Twilight?
Oh gosh.
Oh bitch, yeah, unfortunately.
Yes.
God.
Does your mustache have anything it needs to plug? I feel like it needs a Twitter of its own.
Just I was going to say thank you for he wants to say thank you for taking him in for the last 90 minutes because he is not long for this earth. He was only here for a temporary stay, and it is almost time for him to go ahead and see himself out.
No, when I got used to it. I got used to it. It fits now.
I did get used to it, but I'm not a fan. Anyway, Rue, that's for you. That's for you at the bottom. Justice for Cisco.
That's for the people who voted. The people who voted. I just didn't vote for Cisco because I don't.
Justice for Cisco. The thong song is a classic.
No,
what are you talking about?
Star Trek Cisco. Star Trek Cisco.
I'm aware. I saw how you spelled it. I assumed it wasn't the same one. It was easy to make fun of y'all.
I love it. Jeff, where can people find you?
I guess
Frozen over there in the corner.
Yeah, I'm not
frozen anymore.
You're not anymore. You're back.
Was I?
Yeah.
Oh, damn, that sucks.
Or just really high and not moving. Either one.
No, I've been here the whole time. Cognizant, present, listening. Not always contributing, but that's because I never felt that I needed to. I'd say you could find me here more often, it seems. My Tuesday shows for Show Me the Money. Buck is looking more to just kind of watch and just be a fan again, which is cool and awesome. And I'm looking to do a little something different there. So I'm hanging out here now when I'm available on Mondays. And other than that, I mean, we'll figure out stuff that we're going to do on the Show Me the Money channel, but, follow the Twitter, subscribe to that channel. We'll probably do another Disaster Piece Theater, hopefully soon. The last one with cats was rousing success. I got a couple awful movies and waiting in the wings, ready to go for that. And at some point I'll bring the family show back. Cause last year leading up to F9, we did every single final Fast and Furious.
I'm shocked we haven't done one with all the Fast 10 drama going on.
Because I don't discuss the news. I do it to talk about the movie. And so far, the movie right now is just, a Vin Diesel wet dream. We got to wait for the final product.
Jesus.
Matt, where can the good folks find you, my friends?
Everywhere here. I'm gonna have a Downton Abbey review this week, apparently, because I just saw my email and saw I got a screening invite for that. So I gotta watch something that I have
watched
I
just watched the first episode of the series.
Any way to pass that on to me? Because I love that shit.
Unless you can get to Cleveland by Wednesday, nah, there's no.
Never stepping foot back in that state. I'm sorry.
And as for me, you can find me on Twitter at Allison Salamoni. You can also follow my newest project that's coming up. You've never seen it. It's going to be an audio podcast with Flick and Reel. But you can also find me over there with Jesse Swift and Sean Wingblade and all those great people. I'm lining up great guests. I'm actually I'll be jumping off to go record the first episode after this here. But I got Rue lined up to do something. Winston, I'll send you the list if you want to come up and take a look. But I'm going through a journey to never hear the words "you've never seen it" again, because there's a lot that I've just never seen. So all of my guests that I'm having on are all people that are super passionate about the films that we're going to be discussing. I got Jeff too. I've sent the list to Matt. He hasn't given me nothing yet, so we'll see what happens.
You got to resend that. You sent it on a day where the group chat was just zooming through.
But anyway, you can follow that on Twitter at You've Never Seen It FNR for Flick and Reel. But with that, we're going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thank you.
One quick thing, just a public service announcement. Time Cop is listed in fantasy, sci-fi, and comic book movies. Just want to let y'all know that.
Absolutely. Hey, I was hoping we were going to get to that match because I'm going to tell you something right now. I don't know if PJ's still watching this.
Go ahead.
Still watching this.
Go ahead. Y'all can I'll give y'all your
go off.
Go ahead.
Fix your document. All right. Fix your motherfucking document. God damn it. I understand what you're saying. Oh, all the movies IG, there's 300 of them, whatever. Nah, you got to understand something. You categorize that shit in your mind. Those questions go so deep. You have to categorize them based off of the said categories, and you think to yourself, these are the things I'm dealing with. So I get why y'all made that ruling. That was a stupid-ass ruling. I said it.
2 points. One, it says movies can hop in more than one category, but others are only seen once. Time Cop is in 2 slices. Neither of them are dystopian future time travel. Yeah.
Even with it in the name. And people go, what's in the name? Again, if your brain is not wired to do a certain thing, you know what I'm saying? If you're literally like, all right, I'm about to take off sprinting right now, and then they fire like for a race, and they go and go, and the ground goes out from under you, and you're in a fucking pool. If you're not ready to swim, you're gonna take in some water first. Don't miss me with that shit.
Is Tank Girl in dystopian? Is Oblivion in dystopian? Is Planet of the Apes in time travel? That's a time travel movie. I don't know if it's in that category. That's my question now. Anyway, love you, PJ. We talked before.
I just want to say, as the IG question writer for FCL, he is not wrong because I've seen the list. So
love you, PJ.
And with that, we will see y'all next week. And remember, friends, to spin from the reel, not from the pegs. Have a good night, y'all.